Throwing the main electrical breaker does not guarantee a safe machine. Hidden forces often remain active after the power is cut, and these overlooked hazards are a primary cause of maintenance fatalities. We are going to walk through the technical requirements for locking out massive multi-energy systems. You will learn to manage complex group lockboxes while maintaining strict compliance with OSHA 1910.147 and Directive CPL 02-00-147. Before beginning, ensure you have the necessary prerequisites: machine-specific written procedures, personal locks and tags, a group lockbox, and properly rated testing instruments. Proper equipment is only half the battle. True safety depends on a systematic approach to identifying energy sources the eye cannot immediately see. Start with a rigorous audit of the machine. Conduct a visual and documented inspection to locate every energy source connected to the equipment. You need to map 6 energy families: electrical, mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatic, thermal or chemical, and gravity. Gravity represents a persistent hazard for any suspended or elevated component. While facilities use color-coded padlocks to organize shifts or contractors, these colors are strictly for visibility. They do not replace the physical control requirement of a personal lock. Identifying these families correctly ensures that no residual hazards remain active when the isolation phase begins. Isolation and dissipation can be understood through 3 high-risk scenarios where standard electrical disconnects fail to protect workers. Scenario 1 is a conveyor system with a counterweight. This setup involves a combination of pneumatic and gravitational energy. Relying on a power-off state here creates a trap. Without active support, the counterweight will drop the moment air pressure bleeds out of the system. To secure a gravity load, you must use a physical block, pin, or chalk to mechanically prevent the weight from moving. Scenario 2 is a hydraulic press, which stores significant hydraulic energy even with the motor off. The cylinder can still actuate after the main pump is locked out because the hydraulic accumulator serves as a reservoir of trapped pressure. You must close the supply valves and bleed the residual pressure through dedicated relief ports until the system is at atmospheric levels. Scenario 3 is a packaging line, utilizing a variable frequency drive, or VFD. These represent a major hidden electrical hazard. Internal capacitors inside the VFD retain a lethal charge after the disconnect is flipped. The voltage drops at a predictable mathematical rate, rather than zeroing instantly. Wait the full discharge time specified by the manufacturer before opening the electrical panel to ensure the voltage reaches a safe baseline. Effective isolation involves both stopping the source and aggressively dissipating any residual energy stored within the machine components. Managing a team of 5 workers across 15 isolation points can quickly lead to errors if the process isn't centralized. To maintain control, designate a primary authorized employee, or PAE, to take ownership of system isolation. The PAE applies primary locks to all identified energy isolating devices, then places all of those keys into a single group lockbox. Finally, every single individual worker, including the PAE, applies their own personal safety lock to the exterior of that group lockbox. This physical interlock ensures the machine cannot be re-energized until every worker has removed their lock, providing perfect continuity during shift changes or multi-team contractor jobs. Methodical and serious, verification is the final barrier against injury. Skipping this step is the single deadliest administrative error in the LOTO process. For electrical components, the start button check is insufficient. You must use a properly rated multimeter to verify the absence of voltage, specifically checking for capacitive charge in VFDs. For pneumatic and hydraulic systems, confirm all gauges read 0, check that downstream lines are bled, and ensure actuators do not cycle. Verify mechanical and gravity hazards by visually confirming that pins and blocks are secure. For thermal hazards, check that temperatures have bottomed out at safe levels. If there is a possibility of pressure reaccumulating, OSHA requires you to continue verification for the entire duration of the maintenance task. You must aggressively prove the machine has reached a zero energy state before any tools touch the equipment. With the energy isolated, residual forces dissipated, and keys captured in the lockbox, the system is now truly safe. By applying your personal lock to that lockbox, you have achieved a verified zero-energy state and taken absolute control of your own survival. Reliable industrial safety depends on controlling the hidden physics left behind after the power is gone. Subscribe to HSE Study for more actionable compliance breakdowns, NIOSH inspection tips, and field-tested safety tutorials.